So now we're going to do an acid-fast stain. An acid-fast stain is a special stain to stain members of the genus Mycobacterium and Nocardia. These organisms do have a gram-positive cell wall, but because of these very waxy substances called mycolic acids in the cell wall, they resist taking up the water-soluble crystal violet and iodine and safranin that's used in the gram stain. So in this particular staining technique, we're going to use a primary stain called carbol-fuchsin. Carbol-fuchsin has a very high concentration of the organic solvent phenol and some other types of alcohols in there as well. The idea here is to, for the phenol, to dissolve the mycolic acids, allowing the carbol-fuchsin to penetrate into the cell. The decolorizer is acid alcohol. This is 95% ethanol with 3% hydrochloric acid, so it's a much stronger decolorizer than the alcohol that we used for the gram stain. Now this will remove carbol-fuchsin from non-acid fast or acid fast negative bacteria, but will not remove the carbol-fuchsin from the acid-fast organisms, such as the mycobacteria. The counter stain is brilliant green. The particular acid-fast procedure that we're using is a cold method which does not require heating, and it's called the Kenyun. So you begin by taking your heat-fixed slide, and you want to place it on your staining tray. You apply the primary stain, the carbol-fuchsin, and you let it cover a nice thick layer of the carbol-fuchsin on the smear. Now, this is allowed to sit for at least 5 minutes. The idea is to give the phenol time to dissolve the mycolic acids so that the organisms are able to take up that primary stain. After the 5 minutes, you want to gently rinse the carbol-fuchsin from the slide with distilled water. Okay. Next is the decolorization step. Now, with the gram stain, we had a full 30 seconds for decolorization. For the acid-fast stain, it's much quicker. It is a 3 to 5 second decolorization. So you want to take a dropper full of your acid alcohol, and you're going to time 3 to 5 seconds. It's going to happen pretty fast. Time it with a timer. Right at 5 seconds, you want to rinse the decolorizer, the acid alcohol, from the slide, sit your slide down, and counter stain with the brilliant green for 1 minute. Okay, so what has happened when the procedure is done properly, the acid-fast organisms take up the carbol-fuchsin. During decolorization, the non-acid-fast organisms will lose the carbol-fuchsin, acid-fast organisms will retain it, and then at the end of the counter stain, you're going to rinse that off gently with water, and your non-acid-fast organisms will have taken up the counter stain. Acid-fast organisms appear a bright fuchsia color because they retain the carbol-fuchsin. Non-acid-fast organisms appear a blue-green to even purple color because they've taken up the counter stain.